Ever squeezed that familiar tube, watching those neat ribbons of red, white and blue unfurl, accepting them as just part of the daily ritual? Perhaps you've subconsciously come to associate those colors with a promise, freshness, protection, even a sense of something superior. But what if those stripes weren't just decoration? What if they were a carefully composed visual illusion, quietly shaping how you feel and what you're willing to pay? Before the vibrant ribbons and tricolour promises, there was only white and unremarkable paste, uniform and uninspiring. In the crowded marketplace of the mid-20th century, this sameness posed a problem, the dreaded commodity trap. A situation where complex products or services are perceived as simply commodities, leading to price-based competition and a lack of differentiation. That's what happens when customers see no real difference between your offering and those of your competitors, making price the primary factor in their purchasing decision. How, amidst a sea of sameness, does one brand rise above the rest? In 1955, a little-known inventor named Leonard Marraffino introduced a simple idea that would reshape the bathroom shelf: striped toothpaste, a masterstroke of design and applied psychology. It all started with a simple yet revolutionary concept, a visual twist that suggested something more, a clever fusion of form and function that caught the attention of the industry. In the late 1950s, Unilever acquired the rights to Leonard Marraffino's striped toothpaste invention, and in the early 1960s launched it in the US under the name Stripe, through its American division, Lever Brothers. By then, Stripe's appeal had moved beyond basic cleaning. It was about visual cues that suggested superior cleanliness, freshness, and a sense of innovation. And the gamble paid off. By 1962, Stripe had become an unexpected hit, capturing 8% of the US toothpaste market in just its second year. The ingredients hadn't changed, but consumer engagement had, just an optical trick. It marked the beginning of a powerful shift, the realization that appearance could shape belief and buying behavior. It tapped into the power of visual cues. These cues influence our perceptions, even when we don't realize it. The stripes signaled something new, something different, something better. They promised an experience that went beyond the ordinary. This seemingly small change had a huge impact. But the success of stripes wasn't just about standing out on the shelf, it was about what they did inside your mind. The secret power of the stripe lies not in its ingredients, but in the mind. Marketers tapped into a psychological principle known as sensation transference. The term was coined by psychologist and marketing legend Louis Cheskin. It describes how consumers transfer their emotional response from how something looks to how they believe it works. In the case of toothpaste, the visual appeal of the stripes, the clean lines, the contrasting colors, transfers to our perception of the toothpaste itself. We unconsciously associate the visual appeal with qualities like freshness, cleanliness, and effectiveness. By the 1970s, Aquafresh took this illusion to another level: white for decay protection, blue for freshness, and later red for gum health. The colors were arbitrary, but consumers saw the benefits even if they couldn't feel them. The stripes weren't just decorative, they were a carefully crafted message designed to tap into our subconscious associations. This concept is known as processing fluency, our brain's ability to quickly absorb information when it's presented in a simple, recognizable way. Think about reading a document. When the font is clean and familiar, like Arial or Calibri, the experience feels smooth and effortless, but switch to an ornate, decorative font and suddenly it takes more effort and feels less pleasant. Stripes work the same way. Their simple, consistent pattern is easy for our brains to process. And that ease translates into feelings of comfort, familiarity and trust, making us more likely to reach for striped toothpaste over a plain one. The impact of stripes on our perception of toothpaste goes even deeper. It influences our expectations and evaluations of the product's performance. This phenomenon is known as evaluability enhancement. Evaluability enhancement suggests that we judge products not just on their inherent qualities, but also on how easily we can evaluate those qualities. Stripes make certain attributes of toothpaste, such as freshness or cleaning power, more easily evaluable. When we see those distinct stripes, we unconsciously form expectations about the toothpaste's ability to deliver on those attributes. This effect is heightened by what psychologists call implicit performance claims. These are subtle cues that imply a product's superiority without stating it outright. Stripes, particularly when combined with contrasting colors and dynamic designs, create an implicit performance claim. They suggest a level of sophistication and effectiveness that regular toothpaste lacks. But does the appeal of stripes translate into tangible benefits for consumers? Surprisingly, the answer is yes. Studies have shown that visual cues like stripes can actually increase consumer satisfaction with a product. In one study, participants who used striped toothpaste reported higher levels of satisfaction with its cleaning power compared to those who used identical toothpaste without stripes. The finding suggests that the visual cue of the stripes influenced people's perception of how well the toothpaste worked, even though the formula was identical. This highlights the powerful connection between our senses and our overall experience. It highlights how visual cues influence both our expectations and our overall satisfaction with a product. The stripes, in essence, create a self-fulfilling prophecy. We expect the striped toothpaste to be better, and therefore we perceive it to be better. What if those colorful stripes weren't just convincing you the toothpaste was better, but making it seem more valuable too? Their influence goes beyond just satisfaction. Those stripes quietly shape how we perceive the product's worth. We instinctively associate stripes with higher quality and often don't mind paying more for products that feature them. This perceived value stems from the idea that stripes represent complexity and sophistication. We often take such elaborate designs as a sign of greater effort during production. This perception leads us to believe that striped toothpaste is somehow more valuable than its plain counterpart, even if the price difference is negligible. The success of striped toothpaste shows just how powerfully visual cues can shape our perceptions and drive our decisions. It demonstrates how something as simple as a stripe can transform a mundane product into a symbol of innovation, effectiveness, and value. But more than that, it signals the start of a sensory revolution, where how a product feels, looks, and even sounds can shape what we believe about it. Behind those colorful swirls lies a deeper story. The rise of sensory marketing, a strategy that engages all five senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, to create more immersive and memorable brand experiences. By appealing to the senses, it fosters emotional connections and influences consumer decisions. In today's hyper-competitive market, companies are doing more than selling products, they're crafting experiences. From the satisfying pop of a soda can to the gentle feel of high-end packaging, every sensory detail is carefully crafted to stir emotion, spark memories, and ignite desire. This is marketing that doesn't just speak to you, it touches, scents, sounds, and even tastes its way into your subconscious. The aim is to create an emotional connections that go far beyond functional benefits. When done right, sensory marketing can make a product not only more appealing, but seemingly indispensable. The sophisticated power of sensory marketing, however, brings forth critical ethical considerations. At what point does the subtle art of sensory persuasion cross the line into manipulation, or worse, deception? As sensory cues grow more sophisticated, marketers risk misleading consumers. Striped toothpaste, for instance, can suggest dual-action cleaning even if the stripes are purely aesthetic. In 2007, Colgate-Palmolive reached a settlement in a class action case involving its Total toothpaste, following accusations of overstated antibacterial benefits. While no stripe-related lawsuits have surfaced, the precedent is clear. Sensory cues can mislead, intentionally or not. It's clever, but is it honest? If design can create the illusion of efficacy, are we being informed or misled? These dilemmas demand a closer look at the ethics behind sensory-driven branding. Transparency must evolve alongside innovation. In a world where perception often outweighs reality, consumers deserve to understand how and why their senses are being targeted. Despite the complexities and ethical debates, one truth remains: sensory marketing works. The stripes in your toothpaste tube are more than a visual flourish. They're a symbol of marketing's power to shape belief and behavior. What started as a simple visual trick has become a masterstroke in applied psychology, showing, time and again, just how much appearances shape our sense of value. As our environments become more saturated with sensory stimuli, our ability to distinguish between meaningful design and manipulative illusion becomes even more critical. Recognizing the techniques at play helps us become more mindful consumers, alert not only to what we're buying, but why we're buying it. For entrepreneurs and marketers alike, sensory marketing presents a unique opportunity. Far from being inherently deceptive, it's a powerful tool for storytelling and emotional connection. When used thoughtfully and transparently, it can elevate a product, enhance the user experience, and foster deeper emotional connections with customers. So, the next time you build a brand, design packaging, or shape a customer experience, remember the full sensory landscape. The scent, the texture, the sound, the color, they all speak louder than words. And the next time you squeeze a tube of toothpaste, pause for a moment. Those stripes aren't just decoration, they're an optical whisper, quietly reshaping reality, one squeeze at a time.